Hey guys, I'm going to bring you a look at the iPhone 5 versus the Nexus 4. Let's boot both these phones up. The iPhone 5 has the A6 dual-core processor, and the Nexus 4 has the quad-core S4 Pro processor running at 1.5 GHz and 2 gigs of RAM. It's supposed to be the fastest phone on the planet according to Google, but let's find out if their claim was true. So you saw there that the iPhone 5 booted up faster. A lot of you might say that this is not a fair comparison, but in my opinion it's pretty fair. They're both top of the lines from each of their respective classes, and I'm gonna go ahead and compare a few things from both phones and see what happens. Okay, so we're gonna start with a browser test. I'm just gonna go on youtube.com. I know I can get the apps, but I just want to see how the website performs. And let's see which one loads faster. So as you saw, it popped up way quicker on the Nexus 4, but in the end it had to sign me in. But anyways, it was faster on the Nexus 4. We'll deal with YouTube a bit later. Let's go to TheVerge.com. One thing I'm going to mention is I have been on The Verge before, just the main page on my Nexus 4. So I just want to show you guys one thing that you might be super impressed by. It pretty much instantly popped up on the Nexus 4. I didn't have it preloaded. I didn't have it open in another tab or anything. It just ridiculously fast opening. Let's click some links that I haven't been to before. So there, the Nexus 4 loaded it a lot faster, and once again Nexus 4 won there as well. So Nexus 4 seems to do a really good job on mobile pages on Chrome, which is the default browser on the new Nexus devices from here on out. I don't think Google's going to be using the previous browser anymore. Let's go to bbc.com and see what happens there. So far the Nexus 4 is doing a really good job in terms of browser performance. A lot of people have mentioned in other videos that it's not that good, but as you saw there, like, it pretty much instantly popped up on the Nexus 4, the mobile site, which is pretty impressive. Now if we click on these links, the iPhone 5 is going. Nexus 4 isn't even doing anything. That's completely my fault. I managed to not click on the text, but for some reason it's still highlighted, so I'm just gonna click on it anyways, and then we'll go from there. So these like HTML5 menus, Nexus 4 loaded super quick there, as you saw. iPhone 5 is slightly behind. I've never been on this website before on either of these phones, so it's fresh. So I'm just gonna go back to The Verge this time, and we're gonna look at the full website mode. You saw that for the mobile version, the Nexus 4 destroyed the iPhone 5. Let's see what full browser is like. So iPhone 5 popped up the pictures and everything first, but they're both loading. It's pretty consistent, and it looks like they pretty much finished at the same time. I had a hard time picking out which one was better. Let's try opening up a page. This time the Nexus 4, the pictures and everything pops up quicker, and they pretty much finished at the same time. Now, one thing you're going to notice with pinch to zoom is it's more fluid on the iPhone 5. I actually had an issue with pinch to zoom on the Galaxy Nexus 4. Now let's mess around with some of the cool voice stuff.
New York Giants.
So Google now did, it just pops up quicker there, but the Siri actually has more information related to the roster as well as
Green Bay Packers.
Now let's see if Siri is biased or if Google now is. The results obviously pop up a lot quicker on Google Now, and I think the interface is a lot cleaner.
Giants.
Like, Siri looks kind of ugly.
Here's the roster for the Giants.
It's so cool. Now, Celtics.
Okay, let's take a look. Here's the roster for
So,
the Celtics.
Google Now brings you the score, which is, I'm gonna say 99% of the
Weather
time,
in
that's what you're
Toronto.
looking for. You're not exactly looking for the roster.
Forecast for Toronto through Tuesday.
And here you can see that the weather
Calories in egg.
UI just cleaner on Nexus
I don't see
4.
that person in your address book.
So, so Siri has some pretty hilarious results
Calories in
sometimes.
broccoli.
Let's see if we can get some
Checking my
real
sources.
information here. So Siri
Okay,
looks
here's the
like
Legit
it's
results.
actually getting some stuff, whereas the Nexus 4 simply brings you to the Google page, which is not as helpful.
How many centimeters are there in an inch?
But for some results like this one,
I'm on it.
Google Now just gives you exactly what you need, whereas Siri's gonna
You
give
can do
you
it
a
on your
whole
phone.
bunch
Oh,
of
wait, you don't
stuff.
have Siri. Who is
Which
taller, LeBron
could
James
be-
or Michael Jordan?
Not as helpful. Now let's see
I don't understand.
how they both fare in
Taller
terms of
LeBron
comparisons.
James or
Nothing
Michael
popped
Jordan?
up when I looked up LeBron versus
Yeah.
Kobe, or sorry, Michael Jordan.
Kobe Bryant versus LeBron James.
I don't understand. Kobe Bryant versus.
So I think it might be a wording issue. I'm gonna keep trying until something finally pops up.
Compare Kobe Bryant versus LeBron James.
Let's see. Here are Kobe Bryant and LeBron James.
Okay, I'm gonna try to show you guys the speaker quality on both the phones. This might be pretty tough, so just bear with me. You can judge for yourself which one you think is better.
No.
As you can hear, the Nexus 4, when it's on the table, you can barely hear anything. The iPhone 5 is generally consistently louder because of the placement of the speakers. I personally think that the iPhone 5 speakers are a little bit better. The bass you can hear is a bit more crisp. Okay, now I'm going to show you the navigation stuff.
Navigate to Toronto. Navigate to Toronto.
I don't see any places matching to Until. Sorry about that.
So it looks like Siri had a hard time.
Navigate to New York.
Navigating.
So Google Maps picks it up, Google Now picks it up a lot quicker. And there goes Siri.
Getting directions to New York City.
Yep.
Now in terms of the actual GPS signal, it looks like the iPhone 5 is a lot quicker. Like the Nexus 4 is still looking for a signal here for the GPS, where the iPhone 5 is ready to go. There you go.
Then turn right.
Let's keep trying some navigation stuff to see if it's consistently performs the same way, or if there's like a buffer or
Navigate to New Jersey.
Navigating.
So once again, there, like, Google Now starts earlier. Siri
Head west on Lloyd Street.
didn't even pick it up that time, but I think that might be my fault. I guess
Okay.
It had something to do with the button. Okay, I'm gonna try again.
Navigate to Chicago.
Navigating.
Siri is giving me some weird issues here. It's not even starting for some reason. Like, you hear the noise, but it's not doing anything.
Navigate to Chicago.
Navigating. Getting directions to Chicago. Turn left onto Elm Street, Regional Road 55.
So, Apple Maps comes out ahead here in terms of, I mean, the GPS, it comes out ahead. Now I'm gonna mess around with a few apps. Let's start off with Angry Birds and see which one loads faster. And they're probably gonna be the exact same. In all my previous tests, Angry Birds has been pretty consistent from any of the most recent phones. iPhone 5 is actually faster there. You saw the little play button pop up quicker on the iPhone 5. The Galaxy Nexus, or sorry, the Nexus 4 wasn't that far behind. In terms of performance, the game is probably going to be the exact same. It's even really low end phones can play this game super smoothly. So let's just test it out to see if the Nexus 4 or the iPhone 5 does anything weird. Looks pretty consistent so far. I actually it looks the same to me. Let's stop wasting time here. Let's try Flipboard. Flipboard I've seen is pretty inconsistent sometimes across phones to phones. Opened up basically the same time. iPhone 5 is slightly ahead. As you can see, it's like making the stories and everything quicker. The pictures pop up quicker. The stories aren't even in the same order on the Nexus 4. So it seems like the iPhone 5 is gathering some data that the Nexus 4 isn't getting. It's weird. It should be pretty consistent, but for some reason it's not. I've never ran these apps on either of these phones before. Let me try to get a consistent article and see what the performance is like there. So for the Santa one, you can see that the iPhone 5 is just slightly faster in terms of page flipping. You can blame me on flicking my fingers faster on one phone compared to other. I'm not trying to be biased here, but it just looks like it's faster on the iPhone 5. Let's keep messing around, and you guys, I guess you can judge for yourself to see which one's faster. To me personally, the iPhone 5 is slightly comes out ahead, but the Nexus 4 is still doing a really good.
A mic test to see which one is clearer. You guys can judge for yourself which one you think is better. Doing a mic test to see which one is clearer. You guys can judge for yourself which one you think is better.